Welcome to this year's West Virginia University School of Medicine's Professional Program's Commencement Ceremony. Carrying the Salmon Banner, offering the Masters in Public Health and the Masters in School Health from the Department of Community Medicine. Public health professionals assure that communities have access to appropriate, effective health care and that individuals know how to promote their own health. Through study which advances the best health policies, public health professionals contribute to the well-being of society. Health education is an important component of public health, shaping messages and sharing information that helps people live not only longer, but better. Carrying a green banner, offering the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in exercise physiology from the Department of Human Performance. Exercise physiologists merge the science of human body function with the science of exercise to help individuals stay active for a lifetime. An exercise physiologist may help someone train for the Olympics or recover from a heart attack. For exercise physiologists, it is all about helping individuals achieve their personal best. Carrying a green banner, offering the bachelor's degree in medical technology from the Department of Pathology. Medical technologists are taught how to function at the center of today's hospitals and research facilities. Medical technologists are part of a dynamic, continually changing profession that assists in the diagnosis of disease as well as the discovery of disease prevention and cures. Carrying a slate blue banner, offering the master's degree in occupational therapy from the Department of Human Performance. Occupational therapists help people participate in the occupations or activities which individuals equate with health, well-being, security, and happiness. Occupational therapists work with people of all ages to restore their ability to do all those little things that matter most, be they work, self-care, or just having fun. Carrying a teal blue banner, offering the doctoral degree in physical therapy from the Department of Human Performance. Physical therapists use a hands-on approach to help individuals conquer pain, disease, or disability through the analysis and treatment of movement problems. Physical therapists apply scientific principles of movement and healing to help people of all ages and levels of fitness maintain, improve, and restore mobility and function. Physical therapists work with people to help them obtain or rediscover moments they dream of achieving.
You may be seated. Carrying today's ceremonial mace, West Virginia University's symbol of authority was School of Medicine Grand Marshal Dr. Andrew Schemke, followed by presiding officer of today's ceremony, representing West Virginia University President James Clements, Chancellor for Health Sciences, Dr. Christopher Kalenda. Let me welcome everyone to this morning's ceremony. I'm the Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education in the School of Medicine, and I'm standing in today for Dr. Mary Beth Mandich, Associate Dean for Professional Programs, who is out of town attending her own son's graduation in California this weekend. I'm really delighted to be able to celebrate this great occasion with all of you and to fill in for Dr. Mandich. We want to welcome all the families today joining us for this celebration, and thank you on behalf of the graduates for your continued support, for being there for them and reminding them that home is not only a place, but a place in the heart, so they never get lost on their life's journey. To the students, let me thank you for choosing West Virginia University. I hope as you look back on your years here, it will be with great fondness and appreciation for what you have gained, no matter where you go from here or how you use the education you have received. Let me say just a few words about the professional programs housed in the School of Medicine. As a comprehensive health sciences center at West Virginia University, we have 4 very traditional schools of health science: pharmacy, dentistry, nursing, and medicine. Our medical school is unique. It houses not only the disciplines of the Doctorate of Medicine degree and traditional biomedical sciences, but a host of other disciplines we have affectionately come to know as our professional programs. There are 8 degree programs and 1 certificate program housed within 6 departments that represent a diversity of healthcare on the continuum, from prevention to intervention and education about healthy living, and to analysis of healthcare systems. There are over 1,000 students enrolled in these professional programs, which makes us one of the largest components in the Health Science Center family. It also makes us unique among the health profession schools in the state of West Virginia. I'd like to call your attention in the program to the students who have completed the graduate certificate in emergency medicine. They will not be called on stage today, but they represent a host of healthcare providers, including nurses, physician's assistants, and other physicians who have completed a course of study to enhance their competence in the practice in an emergency department setting. We also recognize today our first graduate of a dual degree track offering a Master's of Public Health option to students in the MD degree curriculum. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the stage party. As I call their names, I would ask them to stand and remain standing until the faculty of your program has been introduced. Faculty, please stand when I recognize you. And audience, if you would please hold your applause until all the introductions are completed. We can get through these introductions a little more expeditiously. We have 2 educational programs in the Department of Community Medicine. The chairperson of that department is Dr. Alan Ducketman. Dr. Ducketman could not be with us today due to an out-of-town family event. We have representing the department today Associate Chair for Educational Programs, Dr. Ian Rockett. Together with their dedicated faculty, they work to implement a vision of education, research, and service in public health, including prevention. Would the faculty in community medicine please stand? Next is exercise physiology. The person of that division is Dr. Stephen Alway. Dr. Alway leads a complex program that works very hard to create a division that shows balance between its large educational mission as well as research and clinical service. Would the faculty in exercise physiology please stand? Next is the Division of Medical Laboratory Science. Located within the Department of Pathology, the Division of Medical Laboratory Science is the oldest of the non-MD training programs in the School of Medicine. Celebrating its 63rd anniversary graduation this year, students graduating this year will receive the degree under a new name, Medical Laboratory Science, which incorporates two areas of emphasis, clinical lab science and histotechnology. This is a vibrant program addressing a serious health profession shortage, not only in West Virginia, but nationally. The program is led by Dr. Martha Lake, who is Vice Chair for Education Programs and Director of the Medical Laboratory Science Program. Would the faculty in Medical Laboratory Science please stand? Next is the Division of Occupational Therapy. Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what occupational therapy is, the professional title is somewhat misleading, as occupational therapy is a profession dedicated to restoring and promoting function across all occupations of life, from the basic activities of daily living, including work, leisure, and community adaptation. In the summer of 1999, this program graduated the first occupational therapists trained in the state of West Virginia. These graduates are helping to address the severe shortage of these professionals in our state, and we now have 340 alumni from this program serving the citizens of West Virginia. Dr. McCombie is the chairperson of occupational therapy. Would the faculty in occupational therapy please rise? Next is the Division of Physical Therapy. Dr. Mandich, who could not be with us today, is the chairperson for physical therapy. She's ably assisted by Assistant Chairperson Professor John Petronas. The graduates today from physical therapy will receive a professional doctoral degree, which represents the culmination of 7 years of study, with an undergraduate degree followed by 3 intense years of professional education. The doctoral degree is the national preferred degree for physical therapy practice. Will the faculty in physical therapy please rise? You may be seated. Seated at my right are representatives of the school and university administration, each of which you will hear from shortly. I would like to begin today by introducing our Chancellor for Health Sciences, Dr. Christopher Calenda. We'd like to welcome Dr. Calenda to his first graduation ceremonies with us for professional programs in the School of Medicine. Dr. Calenda assumed this newly named and reorganized role as Chancellor for Health Sciences in November of 2009. He joined the West Virginia University family from Texas A&M Health Sciences Center, where he served as the Gene and Thomas McMullen Dean of the College of Medicine and Vice President for Clinical Affairs. He has held previous appointments at Michigan State University, Wake Forest University School of Medicine, and the Medical College of Virginia and Virginia Commonwealth University. Dr. Calenda attended the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, Wittenberg University, and received his MD degree from the Medical College of Virginia. Of particular interest to our graduates today, he also holds a Master's of Public Health degree in Health Services Administration from Johns Hopkins University. His area of specialization is psychiatry. Join me in welcoming Dr. Kalenda to the podium to bring greetings on behalf of the President of the University.
Good morning. One of the traditions that I learned when I was in Texas is that when a speaker comes and presents to a large and diverse audience like this, the usual thing that they start off is by saying howdy. And it's a responsive comment, and usually the louder the better, and I'd like to raise the roof of this facility, the gym. So I'm going to say howdy. No, not quite good enough. Howdy. That's it. All right, this is an exciting period of time. This is what we all come to understand and expect of our graduates, of families who have put their time and effort, and thank you for your tuition support to help these graduates launch their careers in the health professions. And for you, the graduates of 2010, I'd like you to stand up and look to your families and thank them appropriately with a rousing round of applause. Please stand. This is the last time that students take any direction from any faculty. It's pretty nice to see them respond so well. You know, we are about to embark upon a brave new world in healthcare reform, and the students here are all part of that. We are going to be looking and managing healthcare in a complex environment using multidisciplinary teams where folks are working towards improving health and not just treating disease. The Health Professions program of the School of Medicine at the West Virginia University is emblematic of a comprehensive health science center, a place where multiple disciplines can learn together in an interdisciplinary fashion, and I compliment the students here for their success. They will also receive today a coin for their graduation. We are celebrating our 50 years here on the Hill, and we commissioned this coin as a gift for all of the graduates of all of the programs. Now, coins like this actually have a history in military tradition in which units would receive a coin that would identify members of a unit, that would build unit cohesion, and also identify folks from different units who would work together in a variety of military activities. As it's evolved over the years, though, the coin has become much more symbolic of another thing. So when you come back at your 50th reunion, and your 25th reunion, and your 10th reunion, I will want you to bring back your coin, because if your classmate asks you, do you have your 50th anniversary medallion, and you don't have it, you have the opportunity of buying that person a drink. High motivation. My comments are heartfelt. You are at the beginning of your careers. First and foremost, work within a realm of joy for the type of work that you will be doing, whether it's exercise physiology, medical technology, medical laboratory sciences, I apologize, occupational therapy, physical therapy, public health. Please know that you are doing the work of the angels. And as you continue through your career, maintain your commitment to lifelong learning, and please live transformed lives. This is an important thing for you, important thing for your family, but if you can live transformed lives, you will never forget the training that you got here. Thank you, and congratulations on your success.
Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. James Brick. Dr. Brick is currently serving as the interim dean of the School of Medicine. Dr. Brick received his undergraduate and his medical degrees from West Virginia University. He completed advanced training at the University of Missouri and West Virginia University. He is board certified in both internal medicine and rheumatology and has been on our faculty since 1984. He was an early investigator in the use of methotrexate in the treatment of rheumatic diseases. He and his twin brother, Dr. John Brick, developed Mountaineer Doctor Television, affectionately known as MDTV, West Virginia's federally sponsored telemedicine network that provides consultative and educational programs throughout the state of West Virginia. He is past chair of the West Virginia University Medical Corporation Board of Directors. Until called upon to serve in the capacity as interim dean, Dr. Brick has served as the E.B. Flink Professor and Chair of the Department of Internal Medicine, the School of Medicine's largest department. Dr. Brick supports the professional programs with his commitment to the state of West Virginia and his intense devotion to caring for the citizens of our state. Join me in welcoming Dr. Brick as he brings you greetings on behalf of the School of Medicine.
Good morning. As I was sitting here this morning listening to Dr. Kalinda and Norman and thinking and looking out at the audience, the graduates are here. Folks on either side are parents, family, and friends. And I can remember when I graduated from the last time from WVU, when I really graduated, though I now feel like I graduate every year. But one of the things my dad told me that he was so happy about is that he didn't have to send any more checks to Morgantown. And so I really feel for you. I really think that's wonderful, and I don't have to send any more checks to Morgantown either. On behalf of the more than 1,500 faculty and staff of the School of Medicine, I'd like to extend each and every one of you all a hearty welcome, and I hope the rain holds off. To all of the parents, family members, and friends of our students, thank you for playing such an important role in making this day a reality. I'd also like to thank Mary Beth Mandich, who isn't here today, for her outstanding leadership, as well as the entire faculty and the professional programs for all that they've done for these students down here. They really do live and breathe these kids, and they do a great service to the children of West Virginia, the students, but also to the people of West Virginia. Congratulations to all of you guys, the students in our professional programs. Over the years at WVU, you've not only learned the essential components of your academic discipline, but you've come to appreciate the finer aspects of what it means to be a healthcare provider. Think back at the many changes that have occurred on that hillside up there, the Health Sciences Center campus, since you first came here. What you've witnessed is the largest and most significant changes to our educational and research facilities in more than 20 years. New buildings have been designed and built, and others are being renovated so that all of our students, our patients, our faculty, and staff have the best possible environment for learning, clinical care, and research. But as extensive as that transformation has been, that's all on the outside. And that pales into comparison to the transformation that every one of you all has gone through. You're smarter. You've experienced the personal satisfaction that comes from completing a rigorous academic program. You know all about the joys and challenges of caring for patients in a rural community. And you've enjoyed a value-based education that will serve you as a foundation for every future stage in your life. You're ready. At the WVU School of Medicine, we are cultivating a tradition of excellence in every one of our school's activities and programs. And excellence is everywhere, in every aspect of our professional programs. And that's because of you, our students, and this faculty up here on this stage. Simple final message. In the future, remember this excellence. It's only through excellence that we can change potential into reality and dreams into discovery. Don't settle for anything less. Remember, first and foremost, you're a WVU Mountaineer. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Medicine, congratulations to all of our graduates and the families. Thank you for being part of West Virginia University.
It's now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today. Our guest speaker is a master at dealing with change. His personal experiences with nurses, physicians, and therapists not only saved his life, but pointed him to a career in healthcare. Mike Schlappi earned his Master's of Business Administration with an emphasis in healthcare administration and served as Director of Rehabilitation for Intermountain Healthcare in Utah for over 10 years. Mike is an Olympic gold medalist, author, businessman, husband, and father of 5. His personal philosophy is, if you can't stand up, stand out. Please join me in welcoming Mike Schlappi.
Life was perfect. I was about 5 foot 10 inches tall. I was being primed by my dad, who was a high school basketball coach, to be this exceptional athlete. And on this particular Friday, my best friends were Roger and Phil and Doug. And they were waiting for me at Lake Ridge Junior High School. The entire school and community were all excited about the championship football game the next morning. So I fixed my little sister Julie's flat bike tire. I ran down the street. I crossed the road. I jumped up the curb. I dashed through the grass. And I ended up on the porch of my friend Tori. I started banging on the old screen door. Tori said, "Mike, come in, come on in, come in." So I opened the door. I walked towards my friend's voice. I found him in his mom and dad's bedroom. Nobody was home. I plopped down on the white bedspread. Tori started walking toward me with a gun in a brown leather case. "Hey, Mike, I like to play around with this gun when my mom and dad aren't home. This is my dad's off-duty police gun." I know where he hides it when he goes to work. I was curious. I sat there. He stopped 3 feet away. He took the gun out of the brown leather case. He flipped the cylinder that holds the bullets out to the side, and he started shaking the gun right next to me. I watched 4 little silver bullets fall right next to me on the white bedspread. I could have reached out and picked them up. I started doing math in my head. I wondered, how many bullets does that gun hold anyway? I should have said something. This was an accident. Tori thought he had an empty gun. 3 feet away, he pulled it up to his hip, pointed it at my chest. Bang! I still remember that sound. The bullet hit my chest, missed my heart, punctured my lung, slammed into my spine, knocked me back onto that white bedspread. I passed out. Tori freaked out. I was regaining my consciousness. My very first thoughts were, this can't be real. But these things are real, aren't they? Death, divorce, failure. As I tried to take another breath, I thought, this is real. I've really been shot. My friend's freaking out. I can't feel my legs. I started promising God, if I can live, I'll change. I'll help as many people in this world. I just want to live. I saw this blue phone on the wall about 8 feet away from me, and I wanted to get to that phone. Why? I knew my mom was 5 houses away, but I was glued to that white bedspread. 2/3 of my body was paralyzed. I passed out again. The next thing I remember, Tori was hovered over me, had a hold of me, shaking me. "Mike, you're faking it, you're faking it." I pulled at my shirt. I showed him the hole in my chest. He ran back over to that same blue phone, and he called my home telephone number. My amazing mom answered the phone. "Mrs. Schlappi, come quick. Mike's been hurt. He threw the phone in the corner, ran back in the kitchen. The next 2 minutes were the longest of my life. But I hung in there. Why? I had hope that my mom would walk in that bedroom. And, before I go any further, I have a gut feeling there's a couple of moms in here. I want you to know you matter. You make a difference. When my mom showed up and she touched my hand, she touched my face, she ran her fingers through my hair, my mom saved my life. She ran back over that same blue phone and called 911. Can you imagine how my friend's dad felt? As he was cruising the neighborhood in his police car, it came across this little radio. There had been a shooting at his address. So the ambulance shows up, my mom's there, and chaos. They rush me to the hospital. And then a bunch of amazing professionals like yourself came into my life. The body's an amazing creation, isn't it? You know what saved me besides my mom, my friend, the doctors and nurses, and all the medical professionals? My heart. My heart was on an in-beat that very split second. The bullet sped by. I spent 8 days in intensive care, all kinds of pain, tubes in my nose and into my lungs, in and out of consciousness. My girlfriend dumped me 3 days later. That's okay, I found a new one. My football teammates, they dedicated the game to me. The next morning, 36-0. They lost. I couldn't find much to smile about. My nickname as a little kid was Happy Schlappi. My wife calls me Crappy Schlappi. But I just couldn't find, there were days, and I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you I wanted to reach over there, pull the plug out of the wall, and end it all. Why didn't I? People like you. My friends would pack the elevators. My mom and dad would sleep at the hospital. Tori even showed up, just he and I in the hospital. He and I in intensive care. He sat next to me. We looked at each other. We both started crying. He handed me a book. I opened it up. On the inside left cover, it said, "Mike, I will never forgive myself, but I hope someday you will." I recognized right then this didn't just happen to me, did it? This happened to my family, my friends, the entire community. But I knew I was on my way to recovery when I started causing trouble in the hospital. My grandma Schlappi brought me a cherry Slurpee from 7-Eleven. 9 o'clock at night, drank half of it, put the remainder on the nightstand by the hospital bed, went to sleep. Nurse came in, checked my blood pressure, stuck a thermometer in my mouth. She left the room. I got this great idea. I was 15 years old. What do you think I did? Took the thermometer out of my mouth, stuck it in the last half of the cherry Slurpee. Sat there for 30 minutes, got nice and cold. I heard the nurse coming back down the hallway just before she came into my room. I took the thermometer out of the Slurpee, put it in my mouth, acted like I hadn't moved. She walked over to the side of the hospital bed, leaned over, pulled this thermometer up, and she looked at it and got all nervous and hysterical. Why? This little thing that doesn't lie said I was, dead 30 degrees ago. And I got in trouble. But I laughed for the first time in a week, and that meant everything to me. I spent the next 5 months in rehab. I got great therapy, PT, OT. I gave myself great therapy. I called it attitude therapy. But I spent 5 months, and I'd touch the bullet still in my back, and I'd think about all the things I'd lost. I'd work up a sweat trying to make my big toe flinch. I had to learn to get dressed differently. In life, if you resist change, you fail. If you accept change, you survive. If you actually create change, you succeed. Well, I was changing. Inside out, my legs are atrophying. I promised myself I'd never let my thoughts, my dreams, my future atrophy. I wondered if girls would ever like me again. Now I live in Utah. I've got 5 kids, a couple wives. Just one. I went home, and my 11-year-old sister Julie, she literally became my private nurse. My dad, he provided that kick in the butt that I needed when I kind of wanted to just sit around and, take advantage of this wheelchair. I was shooting a basketball in the backyard. It fell 5 feet short. My dad knew I was bummed out, and he said, "Mike, you can still be a great athlete. You're just going to have to do it a little differently." I found out they had wheelchair basketball in the Olympic Games. I set a goal to be the first wheelchair basketball player to represent our great country in 4 consecutive games. My mom, She'd be in the kitchen crying, flipping pancakes. We'd talk, she'd cry some more. And one day she said, Mike, just because you can't stand up doesn't mean you can't stand out. That meant everything to me. So I sit here in front of you as a person. I used to be able to do 10,000 things. Now I can only do 9,900. I can't do dishes, toilets, laundry, but I can do most things. I found some new passions in life. I started running marathons. My first marathon, July 24th, 1981, halfway between Salt Lake City and Park City. The first 13 miles were uphill. Me and 7 other dudes in wheelchairs. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. They let us go. I'm 3 miles into the race. I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to get blisters. FUD is getting in my head. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But I'm pushing along. I'm focused on my goal. I'm not going to quit. I thought, I need an exercise physiologist, but somehow I'm going to get to the top of there. But I kept pushing. And then they let all the ABs go. Oh, that's you, the able-bodied people, okay? So I'm pushing along. All the ABs are passing me on the uphill. This runner in a yellow shirt, he ran by, he smacked me on the shoulder. Good job, Mike. Don't quit. You're an inspiration. I kept pushing, thanks. Shut up. Wait till the downhill. And then there was the downhill. Picture this. 500 runners looking over their shoulders, seeing 8 guys in wheelchairs coming at them at 45 miles an hour. I haven't passed yellow shirt. What do you think I thought as I sped by? Good job. Don't quit. You're an inspiration. I'll see you at the finish line. I get to the finish line. Everybody was clapping. That felt good. But I had this thought. I thought, wait a minute. Everyone was clapping 3 hours ago when I took off. Now they're clapping at the end. What about that 26 miles in between? When all there was, was the hot sun, the hot road, me in my wheelchair. You know what I learned that day? All motivation is self-motivation. Love and money and fear can motivate us, but we have to get our rear ends out of bed in the morning and be thankful to be alive. I never appreciated my legs till I lost their use. I crossed the finish line that day. I thought, my dad's right. I can still be a great athlete. I'll just have to do it a little differently. I look at you. I don't see tons of wheelchairs, but I'm a pretty smart guy. I know there's some pain. I know there's some challenges in this world that aren't always so apparent. I salute every one of you for getting up every day, doing the best you can to make a difference in this world while dealing with your own challenges. I'd finished my marathon. Life was good. I had a new girlfriend. I was a junior in high school. I was arm wrestling my weightlifting coach. He was strong. I was stubborn. We're doing our thing. He busted my right arm. Back to the hospital. More surgery. Doctors, nurses, therapists, They put a big blue cast from here to here. Now I had 4 limbs and only this one worked. I went in circles for 4 months. But something more important happened in the hospital. That day, they flipped me over, sliced open my back, took that little .38 caliber piece of lead out of my T10 vertebrae. I held it in the palm of my hand that day. I looked at it. I just started shaking because this little piece of lead symbolized so much loss and heartache in my young life. But I'll sit here before you today and tell you it's about the time in my life that I let it go. I let it go. I got the lead out, so to speak. I forgave my friend. I quit finding excuses. I quit blaming others. I took responsibility. I let it go. If you can ask forgiveness and forgive others and take responsibility, you'll have enough character to do anything you want to do in life. Tori, we cared about each other. We were friends. We were neighbors. We'd hang out. It was awkward. We'd go to the mall. People come up, Mike, what happened to you? He shot me. It was different. Tori never took responsibility for his life. He got involved in drugs and alcohol, tried to rob a bank with a loaded gun. My friend Tori spent 25 years in federal prison, many of them in Fort Leavenworth. But I had this prayer in my head and in my heart to reconnect with my friend Tori. 2 years ago, I was at a restaurant and I got a phone call. I knew that voice. He'd been out of prison for 5 years. He was 5 miles away from me. I talked him into coming to that restaurant. He walked in, we went to shake hands. He knelt down, we embraced. It was like a bridge had been built over those many years. I'm proud of Tori. Tori has his life positioned properly. And that's what life is all about. Well, I got that blue cast off my arm, and I found myself one Friday night sitting at home on the green couch, feeling sorry for myself while a school dance was going on. Why wasn't I at the school dance? I didn't want girls to feel, so I'd stay home. Well, this particular night, I changed. I mustered up the courage to get in my wheelchair, go down that new ramp in the front of our house. I climbed in my car. I drove to the school with my little hand controls. I parked in the handicapped parking stall, some advantages. Anyway, so I went to the school dance. And it was kind of like this. You know, there's baskets in the floor, the wooden floor, and everybody's dancing. I found this red brick wall. I popped a wheelie. I was leaning up against the red brick wall. A few of my friends said hi, and they're back to chasing girls. And I was just kind of wishing things were how they used to be. And then I saw a girl named Wendy start walking toward me. I thought, don't even think about it, Wendy. She kept getting closer and closer. This wasn't good. So I got out of a wheelie, turned to the side, kind of started, talking to the top of my shoes. But I could still see her, her legs getting closer and closer. That wasn't all that bad. But she got about 8 feet away. I looked up. Our eyes made contact. She said, Mike, I want to dance. I thought, go for it. I'd be happy to watch you. I said, okay, Wendy. And we're willing, I'm looking at the ground, and the whole world's staring at me, and I'm thinking, this isn't very much fun. Why did my friend shoot me? I'm having a bad day. And I get out there, and I'm dancing with an attitude, and just everyone's staring at me. Look, you're all staring at me. Doesn't even bother me. I feel like wearing a shirt. I got shot. What's your problem? But I knew, so I'm out there, and everyone's staring at me, and it was awkward, and the song's playing, and I'm moving around, and I popped a wheelie, and I turned a circle, and I couldn't wait for this song to end so I could go back to my safe corner where I felt comfortable. Well, the song finally ended. I tried to shake Wendy's hand and go back to my corner. Wendy said 6 words I will never forget. Mike, I want one more dance. What kind of music do you think started coming through the speakers? Slow music. I didn't know what to do. Wendy didn't know what to do. She was nervous. I was sweating bullets, no pun intended. But it was awkward. So eventually Wendy came over, and she sat down on the ground, or she knelt down on the ground right next to me. I started patting her on the head to the beat of the music. This isn't working very well. I'm messing up your hair, but I have an idea. Why don't you just sit on my lap? We'll try that. So Wendy stood up. She plopped down sideways on my lap. She wrapped her arms around my shoulders. I quickly became the envy of every one of my friends. The song ended, and Wendy went to her corner, and I went to mine. Now I had a smile on my face, a smile on my heart. I was thankful I showed up. By the way, thank you for showing up here. This is awesome. But I was more thankful for a 16-year-old girl named Wendy. No, I didn't marry Wendy, but she understood what makes this world go around. And you know what it is? Nope, not chocolate. It's love. It's caring. It's compassion. Wendy could have danced with Roger or Phil or Lance, but I'm thankful she took a chance to dance with me. This world is made of givers and takers. The takers eat well, the givers sleep well. I hope every one of you sleep well tonight. I know what you do. I'm in your profession. I know you're givers. I want you to go out in the world, and I want you to be a Wendy to somebody. Make a difference. She changed my life. We went to school dances for the next 2 years. My friends would bring my extra wheelchairs to the school dances. I think we know why. Well, I told you about a goal I set. To represent our country in the Olympic Games, I got my chance. 1988, I made the Olympic wheelchair basketball team. I was the youngest on the team now. This is exciting. These are great athletes like Reggie Colton, my teammate from Florida. He's a double amputee, lost both of his legs on a train track when he was 11 years old. We're in San Francisco. We're loading the airplanes. We're the first ones on the plane. They tell us to remain seated. Okay. Reggie, like a spider monkey, he climbs up in the overhead luggage bin. My coach shuts him in there. We start reading the newspaper. All the ABs like you start coming on the airplane. What's the first thing you're looking to do when you get on the airplane? Somebody opens that up and you think paraplegics have bladder problems. And so we get over to Seoul, South Korea. The United States of America beat Holland by 10 points. They raised the American flag. They played the national anthem. They put the gold medals around our necks. But I had a tear in my eye because I remember 10 years earlier laying in a hospital bed wondering if I would ever play basketball again. And now I had this shiny gold medal. I was, sharing it with my family and friends. My mom liked it so much she was going to bronze it. It's a good feeling to know you're the best in the world at something, even for a small moment. You are the best in what you do. Feel that way. Put those accomplishments around your neck. Go out and make a difference. Come with me to 1992, my second Olympic Games. Where were the games? Barcelona. My personal motto as I trained was no pain, no Spain. Again, we beat Holland by 3 points. The flag was raised, the national anthem, the gold medals were put around our necks. Where is that gold medal here today? I don't have it. I lost it. I lost my gold medal. How? One of my teammates tested positive for drugs. I had to give it back. Don't feel bad for me. Just know this. Every single thing you do here on this team in the School of Medicine at West Virginia University affects everybody else on the team. Come with me to my third games, 1996. Where were the Summer Olympics? Atlanta, Georgia. The best wheelchair basketball team ever put together. We'd never lost. We get to the semifinals, and we got beat by Australia. We didn't know how to handle adversity. Everybody's retreating to the locker room. Coach was mad. Coach was yelling. Coach was chucking wheelchairs. Some of us were still in those wheelchairs. We got up the next night. We begrudgingly beat Spain by 9 points. They gave us our bronze medals. I hate to lose. I went back to Utah. I put it in my sock drawer. There it sat for 4 years as a motivator for me to try to reach my goal, to try to make one more team. Well, the year 2000 rolled around. Where were the Summer Olympic Games? Sydney, Australia. I made the team. I'd reached my goal. Now I was the oldest on the team. And we're down in the beautiful country of Australia, and we get back to the semifinals, and we're playing Canada. And if we beat them, we would play for the gold medal the next night. Well, again, we got beat. But I'd changed in those 4 years. I'd grown up. I sat in the middle of the basketball court for probably 5 minutes. All my teammates are back in the locker room. Coach is mad. And I looked at the athletes and the flags. I reflected. I remembered what a privilege it had been to represent you and 300-something million Americans, what I believe is the greatest sporting event in the world. And we had a bad day. We got knocked down, but we got ourselves positioned properly, and we beat Great Britain the next night on a 25-foot shot at the buzzer to win the bronze. We didn't lose the gold. We won the bronze. And I didn't go home and throw it in my sock drawer. I brought it here with me today. And I'll hold it up, and I'll tell every one of you that third place in a world of 7 billion people really isn't too bad, huh? Thank you. My mom didn't have to bronze it. Michael Phelps doesn't even have any of these. Hey, by the way, congratulations on your university getting to the Final Four. That was awesome. So I've been fortunate to win 2 gold medals and 2 bronze medals. I don't have any silver medals. Those guys lose their last game. But I earned these with good coaches and teammates and family and friends, and they mean a lot to me. A lot of hard work, But I have one other item that I want to put around my neck. And I want to let it take an equal place in my life with these medals. This other little item I earned in a little bit of a different way, a lot of doubt and fear, heartache and tears. This other item's about the size of the tip of your little finger. It spent 2 years in my body. This is my bullet. I can now hold it in the palm of my right hand. I don't shake. I accept it. It's part of me. It's closed a few doors. It's opened some others. Today isn't about me. I have a favor to ask of you. When you lay your head on your pillow tonight and you know you're an amazing person, which you are, I want you to find your bullet. Find that thing that stops you from completely reaching your potential. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong. Find your bullet. Be willing to put it around your neck and let it take an equal place with your accomplishments in life. And again, I salute every one of you for dealing with all the D words that we have in life. We have disease. We have depression. We have disabilities. We have diabetes. We have debt. We have doubt. We have the in-laws. I mean, all these things. But that's what life's all about. I've been asked, people will say, Mike, if you could go back to that day and change it, that Veterans Day, November 11th, 1977, would you change that day? My first thought is, of course. But if you had seen what I'd seen, if you had been where I'd been, if you knew what I knew, and most importantly, if you'd felt what I had felt, I thank God for pain. Because only when you feel pain do you change. And only when you change do you grow. And only when we grow do we all begin to discover the beauty that lies within every one of us in this room. I promised when I was laying on that white bedspread, if I could live, I would help as many people in this world as I could. I'm actually here for a reason today, just a little simple reminder in life that whether or not you can or you can't stand up, we all matter, we all make a difference, and we all have the ability to stand out. Thank you very much for letting me share a little bit of my story with you.
Thank you very much for those very heartfelt and meaningful comments, and we appreciate you being here with us today. Next, we have a tradition at university commencement ceremonies. Mary Joanna Grisso, who is a senior student in vocal performance, will now sing for us My Home Among the Hills. This piece was composed in 1963 for the West Virginia Centennial Celebration by Clarksburg native E.W. James, Jr. It's become an unofficial anthem of the state of West Virginia.
There's a land of rolling mountains where the sky is blue. Though I may roam, I hurry home.
It's now time for what you've been waiting for. I'd like to invite our community medicine graduates to please stand and make their way to the stage. The stage party would please assume their positions. Families, I'd like to remind you that, again, that the front rows are available for you to come up and take pictures of your graduates at the appropriate time. You have to make remarks first. Dr. Kalenda, I present to you for degree conferral the graduates of professional degree programs in the School of Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Ferrari. Mike, thank you for gracing our presence here today. Thank you very much. Candidates from the School of Medicine professional programs, your respected fields of endeavor in caring for your fellow citizens are worthy of respect. They will also require you constant learning. Your professions have demonstrated great progress in service and contributions in research to advance human physical and mental well-being. West Virginia University has always acknowledged health as a basic value in our society. As you enter into your professions, which entail great responsibility, I trust that you will hold foremost in your thoughts and plans of the people that you will serve, among whom are the people of West Virginia, who require your skills and your services. You have been prepared well. Your education at WVU will allow you to assume your new responsibilities. We have exceptionally qualified faculty members who have given you intellectually challenging opportunities to learn and rigorous educational experiences to be able to serve your patients and your communities. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you degrees for which you have been recommended, with all rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Please join me in congratulating our newest graduates.
Community Medicine and Public Health graduates. For the degree of Master of Public Health, Community Medicine and Public Health, Marshall Rebecca Jean White. Sweet Kasete Araya. Sarah Leanne Fitzwater. Melissa Lynn Himes. Nageshwar Reddy Janalagada. Erin Maureen Kelly. Andrea Jean Schwing Kuhn. Megan Renee Fleegor. Maria Williams. Receiving the Master of Public Health degree in combination with the Doctor of Medicine degree conferred yesterday, Joshua Morgan Cusick Lewis. Exercise Physiology graduates. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Exercise Physiology, Head Exercise Physiology Marshal, graduating summa cum laude, and selected as the Outstanding Undergraduate Senior, Stephanie Nicole Bailey. Exercise Physiology Marshal, graduating summa cum laude, Charlotte Ann Bibby. Exercise Physiology Marshal, graduating summa cum laude, Lauren Kathleen Kirsch. Richard Adkins. Graduating summa cum laude, Ashley Ray Alkire. Jeffrey Norman Allen. Graduating magna cum laude, Stephen Michael Alsobrook. Megan Ray Atkins. Ashley Osherman. Brittany Lee Ball. Graduating cum laude, Lindsay Nicole Beery. Graduating magna cum laude, Lauren Ann Benninger. Jamie Renee Boone. Graduating magna cum laude, Stephen John Bowen. Andrea Rose Kane. Francis R. Cardiff. Graduating magna cum laude, Danielle Maria Castillo. Monica Maria Cerrone. Daniel Ryan Chapman. Graduating summa cum laude, Matthew Alexander Childress. Holly Lynn Christopher. Brian Thomas Cuff II. Graduating magna cum laude, Tiffany Chantel Cuppett. Ashley Brooke Daniel. Graduating magna cum laude, Anthony Joseph DeMaio, Jr. Graduating cum laude and selected as the Outstanding Aquatic Therapy student, Lori Beth Dingus. Graduating magna cum laude, Abby Lynn Dragovich. Blair Alexandria Ellison. Graduating cum laude, John Evan Ellison. Nicholas Andrew Estep. Meredith Melissa France. Caroline Elise Franz. Brenna Rose Gallagher. Graduating magna cum laude, Lindsay Erin Gentry. Mary Margaret Therese George. Graduating cum laude, Amy Lynn Governor. Ashley Rochelle Gray. Sarah Chandler Gano. Graduating magna cum laude, Kayla Dawn Halsey. Graduating magna cum laude, Zachary Tyler Halsey. Graduating magna cum laude, Melinda Ray Hannon. Graduating cum laude, Ryan Keith Haught. Mary Agnes Hickey. Justin Paul Hicks. Graduating magna cum laude, Daniel Anthony Hill. Graduating cum laude, Paul William Holman. Cody Elizabeth Homestek. Casey Ann Hoover. Graduating magna cum laude, Amanda Ashton Johnson. Cassandra Lee Kasperzak. Thomas Kern. Christopher D. Kimberling. Alexandra Chelsea Kraber. Graduating magna cum laude, Brett Elise Krumholtz. Stephanie Gabrielle Lafortune. Jessica Marie Leap. Brian Keith Leary. Joshua Earl Leiter. Edward Joseph Losey IV. Chunyen Jethro Mack. I'm sorry, but I missed that Jethro Mack graduated summa cum laude. Graduating magna cum laude, Bo Anthony Marcy. Kimberly A. Marmol. David M. Marsh. Jason Isaac Martin. Jillian M. Maston. Graduating cum laude, Matthew Chandler McLeese. Graduating cum laude, Michael Clay McDowell. The outstanding undergraduate scholar, graduating summa cum laude, Sarah Marie Morriston. Abby Lynn Newman. Graduating magna cum laude, Drew Lewis Nutter. Courtney J. Parker. Derek Capito Paul. Graduating cum laude, Kristen Paroli. Jody Lee Pratt. Graduating magna cum laude, Colton Christopher Prudnick. Graduating magna cum laude, Kyle Patrick Reed. Molly Marissa Rogers. Graduating cum laude, April Renee Rotilio. Austin Dean Rovito. Kaylee Sadowski. Graduating magna cum laude, Heather L. Saffel. Casey Leanne Sanders. Andrew Thomas Shearer. Scott Wayne Schlobaum. Graduating cum laude, Caitlin Jane Segrist. Graduating cum laude, Zachary J. Smicker. Graduating magna cum laude, Caitlin Brooke Stone. Graduating magna cum laude, Rebecca Ann Street. Graduating cum laude, Kelly Mariko Takasuki. Graduating cum laude, Allison Claire Taylor. Danielle Claire Thomas. Graduating summa cum laude, Corey Richard Vasisco. Justin Voigt. Jade Marie Varana, graduating cum laude. Marvina D. Walker. Kyle James West. Graduating cum laude, Claire Elizabeth Williams. Graduating cum laude, Ashley Gail Wilson. Graduating cum laude, Benjamin Aaron Wolford. Alexa L. Ray. For the degree of Master of Science in Exercise Physiology, the outstanding Master of Science thesis track student, Joshua Chadwick Drake. The outstanding Master of Science clinical track student, Matthew William Campert. Matthew Stephen Magnone. Ryan Michael Rubin. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Exercise Physiology, with his dissertation on aging-dependent effects of repetitive loading exercise and antioxidant supplementation on oxidative stress in skeletal muscle, and to be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Stephen Alway, Michael James Ryan. With her dissertation on mitochondrial dysfunction in the diabetic heart, cardioprotection from a novel mitochondrially targeted therapeutic, and to be hooded by her mentor, Dr. John Hollander, selected as the outstanding PhD student, Erin Rose Dabkowski. Medical Laboratory Science graduates. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medical Laboratory Science Marshal, graduating magna cum laude, Robin Lee Cooper. Zachary Lawrence Bales. Alexis Ann Berry. Jessica Amber Carper Boggs. Ashley Lynette Brown. Tara Nicole Brown. Graduating cum laude, Ashley Ann Rodriguez Day. Angela Renee Frisbee. Alexander Wade Gogenauer. Graduating magna cum laude, Paula Mary Hendricks. Beth Ann Javins. Joshua Eric Keister. Graduating summa cum laude, Kevin D. Marson. Jennifer Medina. Graduating summa cum laude, Brandon Michael Morris. Graduating magna cum laude, Drew Parker Phillips. Dannon James Reese. Graduating summa cum laude, Joshua Kyle Roach. Jessica L. Russell. Graduating cum laude, Kelly Lynn Russell. Graduating summa cum laude, John Mark Stone. Graduating magna cum laude, Bradley Allen Terrell. Matthew John Vogelman. Michael Trent Wable. Andrew Douglas Walls. Gina Colleen West. Occupational therapy graduates. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with a major in Human Performance and Health, graduating summa cum laude, Rebecca Ann Oliver. Graduating cum laude, Shelby Roxanne Stokes. For the degree of Master of Occupational Therapy, Ali Walid Al-Faris. Krista K. Bartlett. Samantha Marie Bean. The Occupational Therapy Marshal, Melissa Sue Blackburn. Brittany Michelle Boyd. Devon Elise Brand. Claudia F. Bravo. Christopher C. Canistero. Casey Joe Carpenter. Katie Ann Carr. Carissa Faye Crawford. Kara Elizabeth Dobbenspeck. Casey Lynn DeBarty. Margaret Elizabeth Draper. Sarah Elizabeth Ford. Tiffany Renee Francis. Alicia Ann Hanshoe. Samantha D. Hartman. Katie Colleen Harvey. Nicole Marie Keller. Lauren Ashley Kisner. Jacqueline Marie Ludlam. Alyssa Christine May. Erica Nicole Mouser. Brooke Christina Nuzzo. Lindsay Marie Patrolakis. Krista Lee Pauley. Jordan Nicole Rice. Jessica Ann Richardson. Caitlin Bennett Ritz. Lisa Marie Rowland. Ashley Elizabeth Scarborough. Tyler Michael Shore. Erica Marie Smith. Elizabeth Jane Somerville. Robert William Stewart IV. Adrian Sean Van Meter. Amanda Christine Wetzel. Physical therapy graduates for the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy Marshal Christina Marie Committee. Glenda Marie Adamson. Tiffany Helen Alexander. Crystal Lynn Arose. Lorianne Michelle Klein. David A. Felton. Danielle Renee Freeby. Tiffany Michelle George. Zachary William Grimm. Brittany Lynn Haggerty. Casey Dale Jackson. Kara Christine Jewell. Jessica Lynn Kennedy. Eric James Lawrence. Anna Mariah Meckley. Janice Ann Moon. Ashley Elizabeth Moyers. Robert W. Oliverio. Jennifer Redmond O'Neill. Rhonda Michelle Parker. Lauren Elizabeth Peet. Kelly Dawn Poling. Casey Donald Robinson. Megan Rochelle Reimer. Jacob Matthew Stevens. Samantha Lyons Stickley. Lindsay Ann Swaim. Carl Joseph Swearingen. Dana Lee Twamy. Alicia McClintock Wallington. Jonathan Bo Wilson. Lindsay Nicole Weimer.
Well, I have to say, after seeing these wonderful graduates today, I feel a lot better knowing that my aging body will be in such capable hands. So congratulations to all of you. And now that you are all officially alumni, please join me in greeting at the podium Vice President for Alumni Affairs from the Health Science Center, Linda Nine.
Thank you, Dr. Ferrari. It's my pleasure today to speak on behalf of the graduates of West Virginia University and to welcome you as alumni. Today you graduate not just from a health program or not just from a school of medicine, not just from the Health Sciences Center, but you graduate from West Virginia University, and you will be forever linked with this university. Unlike the popular saying about Las Vegas, what you learn here should never stay here. We encourage you to take your education with you to help improve your communities and societies. We encourage you to develop a global perspective and to apply your efforts toward creating a more peaceful, just, and moral world. You will be the windows to the very heart and soul of this university. And as you grow and excel in your work and in your communities and in your lives, you will enhance West Virginia University, its reputation, and the value of your own degree. I always like to tell graduates a story about a friend of mine who got a degree from West Virginia University and decided to go on for an advanced degree. But he needed some money, so he went back home to southern West Virginia to work for a year or so, and he got a job in the coal fields of southern West Virginia. Now, he worked with some very fine coal miners who liked to call him 4 years of college. And every time they had a little job to do that wasn't quite the job that anyone wanted to do, it was, hey, 4 years of college. Or if you don't understand that, ask 4 years of college over there. You know, it might sound like they were putting him down, but actually it was a term of respect for a young man from their community who had taken advantage of opportunities that perhaps they would have not had. You may never have the privilege of meeting one of those fine West Virginia coal miner gentlemen. But your communities will enlarge, your circle of friends will enlarge, and the people in your communities will seek you out just because you have that degree, just because you know and you've been there and you're valuable to them. Communities will need your advice, and they will certainly need your involvement. WVU has a very rich history of very influential and excellent men and women of valor. You need to honor the contributions of those who have preceded you. You need to seek truth in all that you do in the advancement of knowledge in your life. You need to strive to become a role model, one worthy of respect from those who will be following you. And please maintain your connection with West Virginia University and with your particular school, college, or program. Join your alumni association. I always say it's something that a group of hearts and hands together can do that not singly couldn't accomplish. You always show your mountaineer pride. The blue and gold looks beautiful out there today. And my final words to you, to the class of 2010, as you leave here today and step full throttle into whatever life has out there to meet you, I'd like to say one last time, let's go Mountaineers!
Ceremonies of this nature really can't take place without a lot of effort. I want to pay special thanks today to April Chukich. This always takes an extraordinary amount of effort, even more so today with the absence of Dr. Mandich. So thank you, April, for all that you do for these programs and putting today's ceremony. Also, special thanks to Norma and Pat from the Vice President's office for helping to coordinate many of the setup and arrangements today here in the University Recreation Center. To the rest of our dedicated staff and professional programs, Brenda, Becky, Leah, Tara, Marty, and Kristen, thank you all for the extra time and effort and your patience. Also like to thank and invite everyone here today to a reception in honor of these graduates and their families. The reception is set up and waiting for you on the lower level of this facility. For anyone who can't manage the stairs, there is an elevator at the back level in the corner of the building. There are stairs outside of this room to the lower level. Please wait until the stage party and the graduates have recessed out, and then you may follow them downstairs. Now it's time to say goodbye. Hope that you found your years here to be full of learning, memories, and friends that will last a lifetime. Don't forget to stay in touch with these programs, because it's a great day to be a mountaineer wherever you may be. Our graduation ceremonies today will conclude with the singing of the alma mater, which was composed by Louis Corson and sung today by Mary Joanna Grisso. During the singing of the alma mater, it is customary to stand and for gentlemen to remove their hats. Please stand.